Well, it ended really good, and I like a couple of the feuds that they're building towards. I'm John Rentham with my review of WWE, NXT, and yep, it's the War Games Fallout, and we start off with Finn Balor in the ring. The champion is back. Some people love him, some people hate him, and everybody has their eyes on him, or their thighs on him. I'm not here to kink shame. First of all, I want to show you somebody that was happy that Finn Balor was back. Weren't you happy that Finn Balor was back? Weren't you happy? You were happy that Finn Balor was back. And you weren't happy when, somebody showed up a little bit later. But I know that you just love Finn Balor, don't you? He's not very happy right now. He's very, very cranky and very tired. You did like, though, how Pete Dunn showed up and confronted him and, talked about how they grew, did the same thing, coming over to this country and doing some great things, making a name for themselves. Pete Dunne's done really good, from an early age. And Finn Balor, after dominating Japan, you loved how he dominated Japan. You weren't even really alive for a lot of it. But I showed you some of it. I showed you when Bullet Club formed. You liked that. You liked that, didn't you? He is going to absolutely kill me when I am, when I, kill off this recording, when I end this recording. But he is a really good kitty. And this is the producer. Hi, I'm going to let you go now. Anyway, he actually did love when Pete Dunne showed up. And then, he's like, he really wanted, O'Reilly came in and said, I really wanted to insert myself into this conversation. Bad pause there, O'Reilly, but I digress. They have a good back and forth. O'Reilly says, well, hey, I broke your jaw. I mean, you had to sip your meals through a straw for 2 goddamn months. And then here's Damian Priest. Then they have a 3-way argument. He's like, hey, Prince, where are you going? And Balor says, well, you all cut me off, and I'm going to defend my title at New Year's Evil. You know, that 1980s horror movie that wasn't very good. It was a lot like Christmas Evil, except New Year's Evil was a little bit better, which isn't saying much because Christmas Evil was kind of shit. So anyway, suddenly, who's gonna get that Finn rub? You stop thinking it right now. I know who's fucking thinking it. You stop fucking thinking about it. Anyway, here's Scarlett. My fucking goodness, how I have missed Scarlett on my television. And he says, well, here's the thing. When he's ready, Finn's ready. And then Priest says, hey, Smoke Show, do you just do your boy's business? It's like, well, he can just come face me like a man. So this was some pretty damn good stuff. The producer really liked it. He really missed Scarlett on television as well. And then Killian Dane's attacking Pete Dunne because of the DoorDash attack. No, I'm not referring to the food delivery service. And then we get Jake Atlas versus Swerve. I like Swerve. I like Jake Atlas. Here's the problem. I don't care about the Cruiserweight Championship picture. Both these guys are premier athletes. No, I'm not talking about Tony Nese, who was the premier athlete that Jake Atlas beat last week. I do like Swerve, though, and this was a well-worked match. It seemed like Swerve was getting a little bit angry. He couldn't put away Atlas. And eventually, roll up 1, 2, 3, and no handshake. Swerve was not very happy. Are we going to get a bit of a, harder edge to Swerve? Hopefully, because Swerve can work his face or heel. He is really goddamn good. And then we get Champa saying that he wants to pick a fight with Grimes. The squeakiest wheel in the shed, as he referred to him, being loud and brash and everything. Maybe he's, not as confident as he thinks he is. Grizzled Young Veterans versus Imperium members, Bartel and Eichner. And Everrise. Okay, why is the Proud Boy ref still employed? I don't fucking get it. The producer doesn't fucking get it. A member of each team has to be in the ring at, one time. And cool, okay, it was fine. Everrise were playing defense and would, try to get the pin when they could. The problem is I don't care about the tag team division. Now, this wasn't a bad match. It just wasn't anything I cared about. Basically, Ticket to Mayhem pins one member of Everrise. I think it was Parker. I don't fucking remember. Doesn't matter. War Games clips. Fish is in the hospital for a torn tricep. His elbow did look pretty goddamn beat up. That is unfortunate. Fish has had a lot of goddamn injuries. Dakota apparently has a bad neck. And I really hope that's just a precaution because it'd be a damn shame if Dakota Kai was out for any length of time because Dakota Kai is really goddamn good. And then we get, Candace, who still just has no goddamn personality. She's talking about winning the War Games and stuff like that. And then we get Toni Storm, who's a frickin' star. She talks about Ember Moon, mentions going after Io Shirai's title, and then Io says, well, it's like, I have no problem with you. I just don't like you. They start brawling, They brawl out to the ring. And then Ember throws Toni back in there, and suddenly Io hits her with the moonsault. and then tries to pin her. Yeah, I think Io maybe had flashbacks to being an actual match and not just in a segment, but whatever. It's not as bad as Jinder Mahal trying to pin Shinsuke Nakamura after his finish. Holy fucking shit. Jinder Mahal was the WWE champion. Goddamn. So, too many brawls, though. Way too many brawls. This is the second straight segment where they've had brawls. And AEW does this and WWE does this, and it gets a little bit annoying. So then we get Grimes versus Champa. This is a well-worked match. Thatcher comes down, sits in a chair, much like Champa did last week. Seems like their feud's going to continue, which is just as well because they had a really good goddamn match. You know, technical wrestling match at TakeOver War Games. I just didn't really care about the feud because I had a feeling that they were just going to have Thatcher lose, and they had Thatcher lose, and I really didn't fucking understand why they had Thatcher lose. And then, you know, both these guys can work. Thatcher's student, Tyler Rust, I believe was his name, shows up. And then, despite all that, Willow's Bell 1, 2, 3, and Grimes gets pinned, and then stare down, and Ciampa's like, I know you had something to do with that. He's like, I had nothing to do with it. And then Thatcher snaps Grimes' ankle because Grimes got upset at him because he's Cameron Grimes, and ow! He got hit. Mackenzie was trying to interview Raquel Gonzalez, but kept staring at her. I'm just saying, I wouldn't mind. Anyway, what is this Xia Li Boa shit? What is this? Why were they being tortured? Why was this a snuff film? Why were they bleeding? Why were they doing all this torturous stuff? Why was the Grudge Ghost with some, mating with Samara and then mating with every single other spirit ghost that you've seen in every bad, horror movie, ghost movie for a while? And why was Pat Morita's, reanimated corpse talking and yelling at them? What the fuck was it? What is this for? What is this supposed to do? Is this supposed to make Xia Li more interesting? Because I think Xia Li needs a bit of an edge to her character, but I don't fucking understand why they're doing this. Why in the world is this happening? What in the world is going on? Before I do this, I need to come back with the producer. One fist. So I'm going to ask you, what did you think of this Xia Li stuff? What did you think of it? I don't think you like Xia Li. You like Xia Li, and don't you try to tell me that you don't. You like Xia Li. Maybe you don't like the dog she has, but you appreciate the work ethic she has. You do. You didn't even understand what was going on during this whole damn thing. He didn't understand. And I don't think anybody else understood. So moving on from that. Okay, fine. So anyway, I don't understand what this is fucking about. Gargano, Candice, Austin Theory, and Indy Hartwell. Poor Indy. I hate this. I love Indy. I hate this, though. I have no desire to see Austin Theory on my television. I mean, scandal whatever aside, he's not very interesting. And then they just have the Garganos doing this fucking bullshit. The Gargano way, this We Are the Way. Apparently they're Fastball from 1997 or 98. I don't remember what year the song came out. It looked like a crime scene. That was just this promo, Johnny. And Candice should never fucking talk. Know your place, and it's not a goddamn mic. And then there's a general trophy because she's a general. It's a Shotzi-like trophy because there's a green little doll on it. It's like, if you're not in the way, get out of the way. Good. Candice, get out of the fucking way. At least Gargano. Now, you know what? I can't even defend it. Johnny Gargano has no goddamn personality. They're both really good workers. They are. Candice is saving graces. She's good in the ring. Goddamn. Then here's Priest. He starts to run down Johnny Gargano, and then Karrion Kross attacks him because Karrion Kross has returned and power bombs him onto like some, collapsing box on the stage. Bit weird, but cool. Kross versus Priest, I'm all for that. And then Tyler Rust, the student that helped, or that tried to help, Cameron Grimes win earlier at Thatcher's, encouragement, is suddenly talking to Malcolm Bivens. You know, that guy that, was managing those two huge guys for a little bit until one of them spoiled Keith Lee's, double title victory. Yeah, really wasn't all that good. And Malcolm Bivens, I don't fucking get the appeal of the guy. I just fucking don't. Moving on. Killian Dane versus Pete Dunne. The power of Dane, the technique of Dunn. And this went a while. It wasn't my favorite match. Dane can work. Dane has been beaten into power, though. I care not for this this tag team that he has with Drake. Later, in the match, Dane tries to headbutt on Dunn, but hits the post. It doesn't sell the head for a while because, Dunn slammed his head into a car door. And then Yeah, this really wasn't all that great. It kind of broke off after that. Fisherman's Buster off the ropes, though, was pretty goddamn nice. Lorcan Birch and Drake are having a brief melee. And in this distraction, bitter end, 1, 2, 3. So Pete Dunne gains a victory over Killian Dane. And then Leon Ruff needs a tag partner to face off against Gargano in theory because it was supposed to be Priest. Priest got laid out. And Kushida says it's going to be Kushida. It's going to be May. It's going to be May. No, he's not in sync. But no, Kushida and Ruff. Okay, fine. Ruff's going to take the pin. Please don't have Kushida take the pin. But it is what it is. Raquel Gonzalez versus Ember Moon. I have one thing to say. Bravo. Bravo to Raquel Gonzalez. Even the producer was, on his feet about it. He was on all 4 feet, clean himself, but he was actually very happy whenever Raquel Gonzalez had the advantage. And nothing against Ember Moon. Ember Moon's very, very talented. Ember Moon just has no character. Raquel is developing. She will need to develop more of a character, but she is a badass right now. She has done tremendous work in 2020. Can't wait to see what she does in 2021. Ember does some good stuff and, was able to get Raquel off her feet a few times, but there was just so much power from Raquel. Raquel fucking dominated this, and this was really good shit. I really enjoyed this. And, she tried to, dive off the truss, a little metal truss that just happened to fucking be there for whatever reason. And Raquel caught her and then slammed her into the post. Only got a 2 count. Eclipse got countered. That's a beautiful way to counter it. Clothesline. Quick roll up for 2. Thought Ember was going to get the victory. She didn't. And then single arm bomb. 1, 2, 3. Toni Storm attacks Ember Moon. And then Rhea suddenly hits the ring. Well, pulls Ember out of the ring. And then stares down Raquel Gonzalez. I wouldn't mind seeing a rematch since they had the best match on the Halloween Havoc 2020 card. But Rhea Ripley versus Toni Storm. Revisiting that, I'd be all for it. So, overall, not that bad of a show, and I hope you enjoyed the producer chiming in. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Retlin. I'll see you soon.